Hey guys, so I'm finally going to replace this power outlet, which is in just above the sink in my travel trailer. And as you can see, the fascia broke off of it. There's some plastic bits that have broken off of it. Basically, it's just kind of been held up here by this double-sided Velcro I put on a few months ago. So this is kind of been holding it up there. It's not exactly conducive to actually inserting and removing plugs from it. So we're going to go ahead and replace this. First things first, we're going to pull it down, undo my less than stellar Velcro job there, as you can see. There are two plastic tabs on each side that need to be pried off. So I'm going to put the phone down, take a screwdriver to it, and pry it off. Before I do that, let me just show you, it is this plastic tab right here. Just pop a flathead screwdriver underneath it and pops off. Same on the other side. Once both sides have been popped off, just pull it off. So you can see it's only a couple wires that are in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get those disconnected, make sure all the contacts look good, and replace it. Alright, I've already pulled one of the power cables out. So I just want to go ahead and show both of these wires while they're out. The one that you see right here, that came out really easily. The one in the back did take a little bit of finagling. As you can see, it did not want to just pull out very smoothly. I had to pop out some of the copper contacts in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take those off so that it's just bare wire now. So I just wanted to show you what the replacement power outlet looks like and some of the nuances to be aware of. This basically looks like it's going to go ahead and self-crimp or self-terminate the wiring connections off the Romex cable here. Here's the actual power outlet. Please note that as you're looking at it, there are some indicators. There you go, at the very bottom of it. The camera focuses in. Basically black, ground, and white. You'll see that. That's where your wires need to line up with in terms of the little metal contacts that are in there. If I remember correctly, I'll probably go feed in from this side. You can see these little legs. They're attached to the little bolts in there, and you just screw that down. And hopefully these will catch on the walls of the cabinet and hold it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wired up and show you that. Alright, it's a little bit later in the evening and I finally have this done. This was not quite as easy as I had originally thought, but it's not terrible. So both sets of wires are in there. Everything is terminated nice and tidy. It's very snug within the receptacles, but it did take a little bit of doing. One thing to note is that you need to make sure that you turn off the power. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning of the video. I'll have to make sure that I put that into the actual final edit. But you make sure that you do turn off power to your trailer before you attempt to do this. I did turn it off before I started the project. And I did go ahead and plug it back in just to make sure everything was working correctly, and I went ahead and just disconnected it again. So this is what it looks like. I'll show you what I did in order to get it to even get to this point. So for demonstrative purposes only, I'm going to use the old receptacle. Once you go ahead and line up your white, black, and ground wires in the corresponding brackets that you see in there, you're going to need to take the backer to it, put it over. Make sure that as you're looking, white goes to white, black goes to black. Ground is obviously in the middle, so in this case I actually have it reversed. So we're going to pretend that the wires are in there, and then we're going to go ahead and push down on this. And as you note, pushing down on it doesn't get it to close quite all the way. You could force it through, but once because this is basically self-terminating, those wires that you have in there from the Romex are going to offer some resistance. So how I got around that is this. Now this is just for demonstrative purposes only. I'm not telling you to do this, but if you were in a pinch, you probably could try it, or something very, very similar. So I took a big old C-clamp and found a wrench, put that in the front. Notice that it's got this nice soft grip, rubbery surface, so that way the clamp, as I'm clamping down, it does not shatter the plastic bits here. In the back, you could put something back here as well, but because this is my old one, I'm just using this again for demonstrative purposes only. And then you just tighten down on the clamp till finally it snaps together. And then once it does that, it will, once this piece is all the way in, it will go ahead and self-terminate the rest of your Romex for you. Alright guys, so we are almost done. Last thing we got to make sure is that when we screw this up and get that back into that hole there, that the flags are out so that they've got some meat to bite onto. Unfortunately, since this is an RV, it's not exactly a lot of meat to bite onto, but we'll get this screwed in and hopefully we should be good to go in just a few minutes. Alright, as you can see, we've got it mostly inserted here, and I just want to give you guys a quick shot of how it's looking before I get her buttoned up. Alright, that one's pretty tight. Still looks like I got a little more ways to go on the back one there. And there we go. Alright, so once this is dialed in where you feel comfortable with it being nice and tight, the last bit is to go ahead and install the trim piece on top. And you'll see it goes right in, snaps right in line, and there you go. You are all done.